Hi, welcome to episode one of Coffee with Kevin. First, let's start off with the most important topic of these conversations, the coffee. I got my cup. Hopefully, you're enjoying a cup too. I'm watching this in the morning, maybe you're watching in the afternoon. I drink coffee all day, so it's up to you. Got a nice cup of half calf and decaf here. I kind of mix it up, allows me to drink it all day and not stay too wired. Nice Ethiopian dark blend with some decaf equivalent on the other side of it. So hopefully you're enjoying your cup of coffee. Let's have a conversation over our coffees. I'm going to hold on to mine because otherwise I'll be talking with my hands too much and I'll probably knock over my coffee. So I'm going to hold it in my hands while I'm talking. Uh, Today, I wanted to talk about a topic, change management. Not the change management of an IT change management, but more around organizational change management. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because we've seen, a lot of projects that have been successful in a lot of ways, either kind of wither on the vine or not be deemed 100% successful because the organization wasn't ready for the change itself that the project was introducing. So, one of the things that we started to do was really look at early on, as critical as planning for what the implementation is going to look like and requirements and gathering what you need the system to do is how are you going to roll it out to the organization? How is the adoption going to be planned? How are you going to communicate this? What's your communication strategy around that? Waiting until the end of the project to do that, there's not enough time. Not only that, but you miss a great opportunity to really gain excitement around what you're doing and be able to build momentum and get people talking about it. And if you do that throughout the project rather than at the end and try and send out an email saying, hey, we're live with something, you have much better adoption possibilities. You get a much better uptake on the actual implementation. So you get a better success rate of it in the organization itself, not just a successful project. Hey, we implemented it. Great. Let's high five everyone. But people are actually using it and they're actually getting the value out of it that you thought they were going to get out of it. And I'm curious, and feel free to share in the comments, what you have in place as you try and roll out a new implementation. Some things that I've done in the past when I was in the role of rolling out applications was, while we were implementing something or upgrading something, we were actually rolling out newsletters. And maybe that was on a weekly basis. Maybe it's biweekly. It depends on the rollout. But we would send out a newsletter saying, this is what's coming. This is what you're going to be seeing. Getting it out to the end users, getting it out to people who are going to be interacting with the project, even if it's a quick video demo, screenshots, just something to drive that excitement. We've always been big proponents of having end users in the process of the implementation of the project, but that's not always possible. So this helps, communicate deeper out to the organization, and it creates awareness. It's not a blindside when it gets landed in their lap, right? And all of a sudden, I have to use this new application. So that's one way. Newsletters, email communications, videos, even just kind of lunch and learns. We've done that where hey, come have lunch with us. We'll tell you what we're doing. But I'm curious to hear what others have done as far as trying to get out the word about what's going on with the implementation, what kind of project's going on, what does it mean for the end user, can you get them excited about, hey, no, this is going to be a good thing when it comes out. When it lands, it's really going to be a good thing because it's going to do X, Y, and Z for you. It's going to help you save this kind of time. It's going to help you do this. Remember the headache you were having with this? We're going to fix that, right? And getting that excitement around that. You can have a successful implementation, and if you don't handle this aspect right, it can just sit there, or it creates a lot of frustration. Even if you have everything right, if you're not communicating this and you're not handling that organizational change, it can create a lot of frustration amongst the end users. And what results there is that it doesn't get used, or it may get used, but there's a lot of, talk around the office or around Zoom or what have you, where they're not really psyched about it, right? Not really psyched about how it happened. It's kind of like, I equate it to if you have your kitchen You have everything in your certain drawers. If someone came in and reorged all of your drawers with your different utensils and different drawers, your pots and pans in another drawer, it may be a lot more efficient. It may be the best way to have it laid out. But if no one told you and you went to go make a meal, you're not going to know where anything is. You're not going to be able to make that meal, or you might burn that meal, right? And it just creates a lot of stress and a lot of frustration. And all it takes is a little communication up front. Hey, I'm going to reorganize everything. I'm going to make it more efficient. When I'm done, I'll show you what it is. As I'm going, maybe I'll get your input, say, hey, you're okay with this over here, over there. Get your input, bring it out, communicate along. These are the changes we're making. Hey, remember all those changes we were talking about? They're now in place. So go ahead and use them. It's very similar with any kind of ServiceNow, or really any kind of system rollout, but definitely around ServiceNow, implementations. I've seen a lot where, hey, it was a great implementation, but we had no real adoption strategy. So we didn't know how to get it to the end users. We didn't know how to get them to get in there and use it, right? Maybe you have things like gamification, right? Where, hey, you go in there, you use it for X amount of time, you get some kind of reward. But there's a lot of different ways. Definitely share your thoughts. Share your thoughts if it's an interesting topic. I think it is. I think that we all struggle with it, and especially as we're much more of a remote workforce right now, to get adoption on any kind of implementation, any kind of process change, any kind of application change, it becomes even more difficult because we're all dispersed now. We're not in that same office space on that same office floor. I know some people are going back to a kind of hybrid, but it was a little different when everyone was in place. So you have to get even more creative on that, implementation or that system adoption. So share your thoughts. I'm going to call this my episode 1. Next episode, I'm going to go into a little bit of a technical realm inside ServiceNow and show a feature that was released in one of the updates for ServiceNow around GRC called confidentiality flag, or confidential records. And I'll show how to actually leverage that piece of technology. So that'll be in my next episode coming up. And hope you enjoyed this one. And hopefully your coffee's still warm, or it's done and you need another cup. I'll talk to you next time.